The Great British Mickey Waffle presents A Christmas Waffle. It was a chilly winter's night as Scrooge sat down at his computer. It was nothing extravagant, just a simple black laptop. He could have had an expensive silver one, but dark was cheap, and Scrooge liked it.
What's this? Podcasts? They're free, aren't they? All right, I'll choose this one.
A very warm welcome to the Waffle Before Christmas. Get comfy, settle in, and enjoy this festive journey into all things Dismas. I must apologise for all the rhyme in the show, but coming in straight off the back of watching A Muppet Christmas Carol, I just couldn't resist. Right, are you sitting comfortably? Then we shall begin.
'Twas the waffle before Christmas, and all through the house nothing was stirring, except talk of the mouse. Let us all gather around the fire pit with our s'mores, and forget about work, our troubles, and the in-laws. Let's laugh, debate, regale, and unwind. Let's grab an eggnog, or a Clare-approved sized glass of wine. It's the season that some people love, but others abhor it. Add a pinch of Disney, and how could anybody not adore it? We've got all our wafflers here for this wondrous edition, but it will be John we send out on this first festive mission. We often waffle that Disney things were better back when, which was sometimes lost on our youngest, Sammie, Becca and Ben. But John will remind us of some lost Mickey traditions. Some will have seen, but some won't have experienced. If these strike a chord, I hope it sparks some festive cheer, or at least a smile or a nod. For John, it's certainly tears.
Disney World? Humbug! Far too expensive and much too crowded. And anyway, it's just for children. Why would I want to be surrounded by children? In my opinion, anyone who tells you to have a magical day should be made to stand against a purple wall with a Dole Whip in his hand and a turkey leg up his nose.
Ebenezer Scrooge, I have a warning for you.
Por favor, mentanga de la Haddon de los Puertos.
No, not that one.
Oh, sorry.
That sounds like the Marleys. But it can't be.
Scrooge, in life we've felt just like you about Disney parks.
And now we are condemned to spend eternity watching the Country Bear Jamboree.
But a worse fate awaits you. Scrooge, if you do not mend your ways...
Yes, you will be forced to ride It's a Small World forever.
No, not the singing dolls. Speak kindly to me, Marleys.
3 spirits will visit you.
You can tell they're spirits because they're wearing spirit jerseys.
They will help you rediscover the magic. And now we must return before the bears notice we're gone.
I hate banjo music.
No sooner had the Marleys gone than a ghostly figure appeared, wearing a spirit jersey with Epcot Illuminations written on it.
Hello,
What? Who are you?
I am the spirit of Disney Christmas past. I start at the end of October. Christmas comes earlier every year. If it weren't for Halloween, we could start in August.
All right, let's get it over with. What do you want?
Listen to the next part of the podcast. It'll take you back to how the festive season was celebrated in Disney in years gone by.
Will all our wafflers know these things? I'd say definitely maybe. Although when John was in his 30s, half of us were babies. Thanks, John, for this segment and for being a good sport. But on behalf of most of the DIB, when can we expect a finished trip report? John, over to you, mate, to walk us down this lovely memory lane, or should it be Memory Main Street?
It was, and still is, the most wonderful time of the year. Disney parks transformed to something that really is something to behold for the festive season. No matter what part of the world you are in, there is a certain festive feeling that possibly only Disney can really deliver. Be it from the most amazing Christmas tree, the whole of Cinderella Castle with nighttime lighting. A Disney Christmas is a Christmas past that you will remember for the rest of your life. The whole place simply absorbs you. The music, yes, those songs that really annoy you in November and December in the UK, take on a life of their own. The smells, the scintillating scent of cinnamon, gently adding to your experience and to all the things we see. On the very first year Disneyland opened, Walt insisted they had a special Christmas parade, even though they did not have the money for such a special parade. Attendance during that Christmas season ballooned, and so the rest of this story became history. But more than anything, Disney set out to make everything special in the parks for Christmas, from fantasy in the sky to holiday wishes. And in Magic Kingdom especially, the whole atmosphere just absorbs everybody. The appearance of Christmas decorations throughout Main Street and that most inexplicable feeling. If you've ever been to Walt Disney World, or indeed Disneyland Paris at Christmas, I'm sure you can feel my chant c'est Noël. If you've not, I would hope you feel my festive vibe from the past. Christmas is such a special time to be in any Disney park. My ghost of Christmas past will simply allow us to breathe in deep, shed a tear, and remember what we've seen before. I will, however, avoid asking you to stand up to lament their passing, just in case you're driving. The Christmas parade at Animal Kingdom is possibly the worst place to start. Mickey's Jingle Jungle Christmas Parade can possibly be best described as a tame upgrade from the Jammin' Jungle one that's served us all so well. Epcot was a place of a double-decker bus full of Disney characters, and most especially each country sharing their traditions throughout the holidays. The respect taken to share the beliefs of those throughout the world, too, is put in the Orlando shade by the candlelight processional, something that is so incredibly unique, poignant, and takes us to Christmas present too. My dip into Christmas past is incomplete in the park that is possibly the most changed, yet holds the most missed Christmas moment of all. The Osborne family spectacle of dancing lights. From the original walking of the backlot tour to view a display that had been the vision and amazing creation of Jennings Osborne in Little Rock, Arkansas, to see and to simply experience this as Disney added more each year to the lights, and to see my own 6-year-old son pogo to the sounds of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It really is the smells, sights, lights, and the fireworks. They live forever in our home. With my Christmas music choice too, A Christmas in Disney Past is a place of yearning. No matter how much we will try, it will never be back. But you know one thing? It was the most wonderful Disney time of our lives. So everyone, I've avoided mentioning food and drink, and possibly Magic Kingdom too. What are your festive memories of Disney Past?
Thanks, John. Let's open it up to the floor.
I agree with you about Osborne lights. Yeah,
Yeah,
saw them on the last. Our first time we saw them was the last year, that they were being shown, and it was amazing. I'm just gutted they got rid of them.
Yeah, I'm gutted. I never got to see them. Really gutted.
They were really the thing that got me interested in going to Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
When I read about them, I thought, I have to see this. I'm a sucker for sparkly lights. And we got to see them in 2010 and in 2014. Absolutely loved it. Fantastic experience.
I think it was the whole atmosphere within the studios of an evening when you went in and everybody sort of congregated, just awaiting the start, and it just became such a really powerful experience. And I've got, again, it's one of those things that are really sadly missed, and hopefully maybe later in the show it can be something we can discuss again too.
We've never had the opportunity to go at Christmas. We always, when I was growing up, we went with Mum and Dad in the summer, And then since I've sort of been going with my family, we've always tried to go in September before the kids went to school age. So we've never really experienced Christmas at Disney. Although 2 years ago we went a little bit later and we just hit the sort of touch of the Christmas sort of starting in Disney, in Walt Disney World, and all the decorations going up. But we've never really seen it in full swing. Is it something that you should really look to do? Is it something that if you don't hit Disney World at Christmas, you're missing out?
I've got to say, Lloyd, it was our very first family sort of start to go into Disney. We'd always thought previously that the summer was too hot, so we stupidly, even before children, we went at Christmas, and we just got used to it being busy anyway. But what we found when we were there, the whole atmosphere when you walk in there, particularly Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is such an amazing place on Christmas Day. And in 2008 and 2009, I was one of those people who actually put their children on their shoulders to watch the Christmas Day parade. Yeah, exactly.
Shame.
It is a shame. But actually to have my children waving and saying thank you to Santa as the parade came to an end is something, it will live with me forever. It really will. It was just so powerful, such a beautiful thing to experience.
Sounds like a really fantastic memory there, John. Has anyone else sort of done Disney one of their first times, maybe with at Christmas time?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did Disney
early December.
Early December. So Christmas is kind of up and running.
It was freezing cold. It was -2 degrees some days, that December 2010. So it was properly Christmassy. That also meant that the parks were really quiet because all the locals stayed home. So it was absolutely great. I loved walking around in our thick winter coats. Never felt tired, never needed to rest, never needed to stop. No waits for rides because the parks were deserted. Absolutely wonderful. And John mentioned the Jingle Jungle Parade. Actually, we absolutely loved that. We didn't deliberately go for it, but we happened to come out of Tusker House just as it was about to start. So we were in prime position to watch it. And absolutely loved it. Little things like Santa's naughty and nice list was on one of the floats, and all the characters had a tick against their name except Donald, and he had a question mark. Just little details like that. I loved it.
Do you think it would be as quiet these days on December the 2nd?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney are offering decent offers around that time. So yeah, it'll be quieter than Christmas for sure. It's a good time to go if you want to get that Christmas vibe without actually going at Christmas.
Christmas in Disney officially starts the end of the first week of November and goes all the way through to middle of January. So you've got quite a long time that you can experience all the Christmas stuff in Disney.
We've been 3 times at the beginning of November now. We kind of get that transition from Halloween to Christmas, because there's a couple of days left on the Halloween decorations in Main Street, and then they take them over and suddenly it's Christmas, and it's a great feeling.
Can you get yourself Christmassy in November? Is it quite easy because you're in Disney?
Yeah.
It's very easy.
It's really easy. The decorations.
That was very quick yes from you all then.
Yeah, it's one of the easiest things to do is get Christmassy in November when you're at Disney.
It's also worth doing Disneyland Paris at Christmas because they do it very differently to Disney World, and they've got a great tree lighting ceremony, which Disney World don't tend to do. They've got what else have they got?
They had the sparkly lights on the castle first.
Yeah,
of course.
Paris was the first.
Yeah. Last year they did a wonderful show in the studio, which was a projection show on the Tower of Terror that involved Goofy sending a letter to Santa. Sadly, they're not doing it this year because it's a shame, because it was absolutely amazing. It was a really, really good show. They do Mickey's Big Band Show, which is excellent, which is, I think, the same show as they do in Tokyo, which is utterly amazing. And there's all sorts of things on.
Yeah, I was just about to say about Disneyland Paris. So I kind of lost count of the number of times we've been to Disneyland Paris at Christmas. It tends to be our fairly rigid trip of the year, and we go either a couple of weeks before Christmas or just after New Year, where the prices drop a little bit. I'd agree, Jill, that Mickey's Big Band Christmas show, which was first time in 2018, it's back for 2019, really, really outstanding. There's a little bit of a surprise halfway through where Mickey starts playing the drum kit, and he is amazing. So yeah, I think the singers and the band that play are incredible. Real showmanship. So if you like a bit of swing music and jazzy Christmas, it's fab. It gets everyone dancing around in the theatre. But I agree that previous Disneyland Paris iterations of their Christmas parade, I prefer to the one that's at the moment. So a couple of years ago, they changed the Christmas parade music, which distressed me ever so slightly because I knew all the words to the previous one. And would happily sit there and sing along, and they rotate everyone around me. And John's mention of Chante Noel started me filling up, I have to say.
Best Christmas song ever.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the thing. As soon as you said it, John, I was singing it in my head, and I was right back in Disneyland Paris Main Street. The other thing that happens in Disneyland Paris at Christmas, which is amazing, is it snows on Main Street, or Snopes.
Yes.
And you know it's coming. It's like every 40 minutes or so. And you know it's coming. There's like some tinkling bells, and then for about 3 or 4 minutes, it's snow is sprayed out onto Main Street, and it's really, really special. It's something I always tell people to make sure they don't miss.
Yeah.
How do they make the snow?
It's Disney snow, Lloyd.
Yeah.
I picture one of those, you know, those when they cut down trees and they have those machines at the side of the road, and they chuck Donald into it.
Oh,
That's a bit
harsh,
harsh.
man.
I'm not going to ruin the magic for anyone, but it's
no,
Disney
that's
snow.
the harm in the making of this podcast.
Yeah.
With all of the things that Disney have done, including the Animal Kingdom parade, they are things that we look back and really do remember. But we also need to acknowledge that things do move on.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes for the better. I would still lament the loss of Spectro Magic, as always. But
We hadn't mentioned that for
got to get it in the
couple
podcast.
of editions.
But I think as well, there's also an acknowledgement from Disneyland Paris, from my experience, having been for one Christmas there, that it just leaves like an indelible sort of memory and something really in your own mind that it brings back that festive cheer. And I think Disney do it better than anybody else. And I really do feel passionately that the whole Disney Christmas experience is just one that you've got to go and see. You've got to go and experience it. Even if it's just to walk up Main Street and have that smell of cinnamon sort of greeting your nose and really just sort of putting you in the festive spirit.
I think there's also something about Disneyland Paris where you stand, because it is so cold, and often a bit drizzly, just standing on Main Street watching the Christmas parade with a hot chocolate.
Yeah.
There's something unique about Disneyland Paris at Christmas, I think.
Yeah.
It's I haven't been to Walt Disney World at Christmas just because it doesn't work for us as a family, but I love it in Paris.
Oh, you need to put it on the wish list.
Oh, don't! There's so much on my wish list
super.
already.
Just amazing. And one of the things I know we've been twice of a Christmas to Walt Disney World, and it still remains something that we all desperately want to go back and to do again. But again, something that, with our first visit, we didn't have kids, and I wasn't meant to like Disney, and that's cost us a fortune ever since. But I've got to say, it just got me, and I've got to say that was a long time ago now, and my bank manager possibly would have really enjoyed me just to enjoy going and just playing golf. Farewell, Scrooge. The next spirit will be along momentarily.
Momentarily? Just like Disney buses, I suppose. I could be here for ages.
But despite Scrooge's grim demeanour, his cold heart had started to melt.
Well, yes, I suppose Disney was good in the old days. But it's not like that anymore, is it?
The second spirit approached Scrooge. Her spirit jersey had the words Epcot Forever on the back.
I am the spirit of Disney Christmas present.
Presents? I don't give presents.
No, I mean right now, you muppet. Oops, no, sorry, mustn't mention the Muppets. We haven't got the rights. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes. At this moment, the Christmas season is being celebrated all over Walt Disney World. Listen to the next section of the podcast and you'll see what I mean.
So, thanks, John. What a wonderful reminisce, and not even close to a moan. But for those unforgivable changes, how should Disney atone? Stay with us till later and see what wonders we ponder. More fireworks, maybe lasers, will make hearts grow much fonder. You see, the wafflers will be getting a brief change of career. For later in the waffle, we will all become Imagineers. But for now, we've had a brief glimpse of the future and given John the chance to vent. So it is only now right to cast our eyes over the Christmas present. The holiday celebrations are huge at all the Disney parks, and every year the season-themed parties seem to get an earlier and earlier start. Pumpkins in August with the summer heat at its worst. Soon I won't be surprised to see Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party start on January 1st. Two of our very own have just been to the Magic and lived the MVMCP. They have returned with wonderful memories, an expensive handbag, and a red and blue banshee. Please take the castle stage now and parlay us through your glimmering story of the most fabulous Christmas party in all of its Disney glory. Please paint a picture of all the delights that enthralled, but don't be afraid to include warts and all. I'm not talking about frogs, though I heard Becca kissed one way back when. It was her wedding day, and luckily it turned into charming Prince Ben. Ben and Becca, so glad to have you home safe at the waffle, although we bet you're not as happy to be home. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Lloyd. We were one of the very lucky few who got to experience the first night of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, also known as MVMCP. This is a separate ticketed event which is available on select nights throughout November and December.
So, what is MVMCP, I hear you ask? Similar to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, or MNSSHP, which is all about Halloween, the MVMCP celebrates everything festive and fun about this time of year. From snow on Main Street to Minnie's wonderful Christmas time fireworks, there's definitely something for everyone.
Our night started early and we arrived at the park at 4:30. And once we had our wristbands, we proceeded down the route behind Main Street, where there were several photo opportunities and cookies to be consumed.
As we had our photos taken, it did start to rain, but in the British spirit, we decided to not let it bother us, although it did make for a slightly different evening than what we had originally planned, but we'll come to that a bit later.
Our first stop on the night was to Main Street Bakery to try some of the festive offerings and have a sit down to plan the rest of our night. We decided on a large toasted white chocolate mocha, which tasted more burnt than toasted, and to go with this, a holiday Mickey cinnamon roll.
Our first ride of the evening was Jingle Cruise. The queue was at 45 minutes, but as the party hadn't officially started, and doesn't officially start until 7, we thought we might as well give it a go, take cover from the rain. We did meet a lovely family in the queue who were also DBC members, and that lovely little chat made the queue go very quickly, so hello if you're listening. Our festive skipper Michaela was superb and certainly made a great start to our evening.
Once we visited the backside of water, we decided we would find our first treat location at Jungle Cruise, and then on to Tortuga Tavern. Not all of the treat locations have the same treats. There are various different types of cookies, also there are snowman pretzels, hot chocolate and apple cider too. To be honest, the snowman pretzels left a lot to be desired, and just tasted a bit dry. On the positive side, they do offer that savoury option.
So the rain was continuing at this point. We soldiered on and headed to Big Thunder Mountain, passing a few treat locations, collecting more cookies. Big Thunder Mountain was amazing as always, and we were towards the back, and it was even better in the rain.
We decided to head over to Tomorrowland to try out Tomorrowland Speedway with its special Christmas overlay, which is exclusive to this event. It's not usually a ride we do, but we enjoyed it, especially with the Christmas background music. Trying to fit into the car was quite entertaining for Becca, as I'm 6 foot and I don't think the cars are suited to my height. While we were also in Tomorrowland, we grabbed a hot chocolate from Cosmic Ray's treat station and watched a lovely a cappella performance from the Edge Effect.
After this, we headed over to Space Mountain to see if we could get a ride on that to see their Christmas overlay. But as the queue was a bit long, we decided against it, as we would have missed Minnie's wonderful Christmas time fireworks, which is a new for 2019, and replaces our much missed favourite holiday wishes.
We headed over to the castle with about 10 minutes to spare before the fireworks started, and we managed to get a really good view. We were impressed with the fireworks, as it seems to be more focused on the fireworks than the projections. Bit more similar to Holiday Wishes. Holiday Wishes will always have a special place in our hearts, but this is a very good replacement for them. Now,
The only downside was at this point it was pouring it down with rain. So the fireworks were creating quite a bit more smoke than they should have been. And it did cloud the castle a little bit and some of the projections that were on there. During the final 5 minutes of the fireworks, the heavens completely opened, which was interesting.
We also met a few characters during the evening, and they were Mary Poppins and Bert, Moana, Tiana and Naveen, and also Rapunzel and Flynn. Our favourite of the night was Moana, especially as this character is unique to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. There are lots more characters during the party, but some of them do have very long lines, such as Seven Dwarfs. Also, a lot of characters are dressed in holiday attire.
We headed over to Frontierland to watch the second showing of the Mickey's Once Upon a Time Christmas Parade. Unfortunately, the rain was still getting heavier at this point, and so the parade was cancelled. Slightly gutting, as we could have got it earlier in the evening. But on the plus side, there was an announcement saying there was going to be a replacement parade, so we got to witness Mickey's Christmas Rainy Day Cavalcade, which is fairly rare, I believe.
I think so, yeah. Last one was 2016.
Something like that.
Our evening finished at 5 minutes to midnight with a quick ride on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. This also was the point we realised that none of our photo passes from the holiday were appearing on our magic bands. The queue stated for 15 minutes, but we were on and off in about 5.
As you can tell, we had a fun-packed evening. There was quite a lot we hadn't been able to do, such as Mickey's Most Merriest Celebration, the Frozen Holiday Wish, Totally Tomorrowland Christmas Party, and Club Tinsel.
Overall, we had an amazing night and managed to get some lovely photos and some great experiences. We'd like to hear what our fellow wafflers think.
We've done it twice. Actually, we've done it 3 times. We did it twice in 1 year. Yeah, we really loved it. The very first time we went, it was Jill's birthday, and she had a big birthday by John. And Santa wished her happy birthday from his sleigh.
Yeah.
Yay. It was really nice.
It was cool, yeah. For me, I would have been really disappointed at the shows being cancelled because for me, the shows are one of the best things about it. The Totally Tomorrowland show is great fun. The show on the castle stage, which I think is different now, that was a lovely show. We saw the last one before the park closed last time, and we were right up the front because there was hardly anybody there. But I would have been really disappointed to miss those, I think.
The only show that was cancelled was the second showing of the parade. We just never got around to doing it. We ran out of time to do the rest of it, which was a shame because they were all on the list. But
what did the cost? What did the ticket cost you each?
It was £80 each. We booked through FloridaTix.com.
Right. See, so with my sensible head on, if I had 14-day passes, I'll be different than half the people, half the wafflers here. But I think that I couldn't, in my head, justify doing that if I had entry to the park all day as well. For me, I don't think it gives me that much more in terms of cookies and fireworks. That would be £80. But please convince me otherwise.
Oh, the average queue time for most of the rides was probably about 15 minutes, and that goes from Big Thunder, Splash. Most of them towards the end of the night was only 5 minutes. It was just by that point we thought we'd go and try a few different characters that we'd not done before. And it was raining really heavily. On Jungle Cruise, I got completely soaked. I was the only bit on the boat that wasn't covered.
It was hilarious.
The skipper made up for it. It was brilliant.
She did.
Were you wearing a poncho?
No. The average queue for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is about 60 minutes, roughly, on average.
Right.
On a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas or a Halloween party, that tends to go down to 30. If you wait till the end of the evening, as we said, Showtime was saying 15 minutes, and it was less than that. So some of those rides that are harder to get onto when it's busier, it's definitely worth it if you're for the queue times alone. You found the Halloween Horror Nights good for queue times.
Yeah, definitely.
A similar kind of experience.
But Thrifty Me, you see, did that because I hadn't got tickets during the daytime. That's where my conflict arises, I think.
What you can do is, if you don't have a 14-day Disney ticket or any other Disney ticket, if you buy the party ticket, you can get in from 4 p.m. and the park doesn't officially close until 6. So you have got room for also booking fast passes in. So you could get in from 4. If you're a DVC member, you can actually get in from 2 p.m. without having a normal park ticket.
Some people say that they do it because entry is restricted and therefore they're expecting a quieter park. In our experience, it really wasn't. The 3 times we've been, the park was absolutely heaving and much busier than it was during the day.
We've had the opposite, actually. I know this time's a bit different because it was raining, but when we were back in 2014 and 2015, the park was nearly empty in comparison to what it was like during the day. Yeah. So I think it depends whether you choose a weekend night when it can be a lot busier, but I generally feel it's a lot quieter during the party nights.
Our evening this year was supposed to have been a sold out event.
Right.
I think the
rain might have scared a few people away.
Yeah.
But when you're paying extra money to go somewhere, thrifty you, would you throw it down the drain and not go?
No way.
See?
I'll be putting a poncho on.
Exactly. Or you just do what we did and put a hoodie on and get wet.
Yeah. People dress up in Christmas gear.
Yeah, you get a few Christmas T-shirts. They're selling the normal Christmas merchandise.
People will put on Christmas jumpers and...
Yeah.
Just imagine packing for your November holiday with all your Christmas gear.
Yeah, we didn't bother.
No.
Yeah, we just
Halloween outfit.
T-shirts there.
Christmas outfit.
T-shirt.
The whole shebang.
Well, that's the thing. If you go October into November, you could do like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
Yeah. And dress up as an elf.
Scary elf.
To the Christmas party and dress up as a happy elf.
Just go as Jack and Sally and cover both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
I've got friends who've gone at this particular time and actually been able to get both of the evenings in within their actual holiday time. And what a great opportunity to go and do the Halloween party, then do the Christmas party, and then come home and then put your Christmas tree up.
Ben and Becca, would you do it again?
Yes,
definitely.
Would you do it more than once on a trip?
I'd be tempted because it felt like there was a lot that we never quite got around to doing this year.
Right. Even on top of 14-day tickets or 7-day tickets, you do it twice?
Be tempted.
Yeah. One thing I am intrigued is
Ben's Christmas bonus.
Disney have announced, they announced earlier in the year for the Halloween party they were doing a season ticket.
Yeah, that was a good value.
I don't think they've announced it for the Christmas one. I don't know whether it continues or not. I think that would be a really good thing if it's like the cost of 3 tickets, but then you've got unlimited.
And party nights.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Imagine the number of cookies you would get.
We
like
got
Christmas presents.
21 in one night between the two of us.
Oh my goodness.
And we weren't really trying.
And we weren't really trying.
Wow.
We ate some on the way round.
Do you want to give us the highlights of the rest of the trip? The highs, the lows, the pitfalls, the rides that you dragged Becca onto?
Oh, Hagrid's.
I liked Hagrid's. Yeah. It was Everett.
Hagrid's what?
Yeah, it was your first time on it. Well, it was both our first times on Expedition Everest.
Right.
Really?
Fairly certainly broke my back.
Due to a fast pass sort of mishap, I went on my own.
It wasn't a mishap. You forgot the...
Your wife.
I had to go back to the hotel to pick up the fuel rod because you needed it for Rivers of Light.
Yeah. I did a lot of filming on this holiday, and a fuel rod would have been more useful if I brought the cable with me.
Yeah.
Not left it in the hotel.
So you sent poor Becca back to the hotel.
Becca offered to get out of Expedition Everest.
Oh,
you could have done Everest about 20 times in the single rider line there, Ben, as well, you know.
I did it once, which was good. And I'm
And
glad I
then
did it.
3
And then-
days later, he made
no,
me go
it
on
was
it.
the it was a few days later. I dragged you on it because you hadn't been on it, and you hated it.
I did.
Yeah.
Such a good
Yeah.
ride.
No. Hagrid's was a much better.
Hagrid's is better.
And the shop outside Expedition
I like the
Everest is
shop.
also amazing.
It
Yeah, it certainly is,
That's the
Claire.
best bit.
But,
I will be forced to go back on it next year, so I'll let you know if my opinion changes.
There is something cool about single rider on Everest, especially if you get sat next to somebody who's never done it before
Yeah,
and they don't know it's going to go
Back.
it goes backwards.
yeah.
Spoiler.
Oh, brilliant! It's so good though, because unfortunately, if you're on single rider and you're on someone else's fast pass pictures of the ride, I've got 2 children who take great delight in spoiling the pictures, which is not a good thing.
Brilliant.
If you scurry through the turnstile and then just have a quick peek at the photo and then just disappear through the shop very quickly, nobody tends to notice. But we've had all kinds. We've had them sleeping, we've had them screaming,
Fantastic.
anything, and it just spoiled it. And I do apologise if any of our listeners have shared a fast pass photo with my children on this and Rock and Roller Coaster. I wholeheartedly apologise on their behalf. I've got to say that they are really sort of. There's some really sort of daft ones that they.
Ben, are you going to put some of the footage on our YouTube channel?
I am, yeah. So
How many photos have you got, Ben?
it was about 1,800, but the on-ride photos about 0.
Oh, was it just on ride? Was it?
It was
Yeah.
just the on-ride one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's such a shame. Really is.
No, I was going to say, it's a shame. You could have had on-ride photos with people like John's boys.
And I think, Ben, this is a really important point for anyone going in December who really hopes to bring home some photos. If it is happening to them, I really hope that they do what you did. Go to guest services, go and kick up a fuss, because the more and more that the PhotoPass people get to find this out, it's only for the benefit not of just British people who are getting Memory Maker attached to the package, but people are paying $199 for this. It's wrong, and you should actually be having some of these PhotoPass pictures to come home with and remember being on Space Mountain and remember being on, even all the rides that you don't actually acknowledge that you tap your band at the end of. They just appear on your PhotoPass account.
Not all of the rides do have a place where you can tap your band across.
Yeah.
You can't do it on Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion and Pirates.
Haunted Mansion Pirates, you can't do.
Yeah.
But the thing what you can, if anyone does have the same issue, note down the date, time, and ride.
Yeah.
The photos are being taken. You go to PhotoPass, and they'll find the photos for you.
That's what happened to us. We got somebody else's photos at one point instead of ours. So then we went to the FastPass people, the PhotoPass people, and they sorted it out for us. There's a very good place in Disney Springs.
Yeah. That's
a good place to go because that's quite a base for PhotoPass.
Yeah.
I want to say that the best guest services we spoke to was at the Welcome Centre in Disney Springs. They did the best thing. They gave us a spare magic band so we could spend the rest of the holiday not worrying about it, and it would go onto that one.
I echo that, Ben. That's where I went to change some of my old sort of 20-year-old tickets, and the Welcome Centre in Disney Springs, they were absolutely fantastic. Really, really professional. Knew exactly what they were doing and sorted everything out really quickly. It might just be the go-to place to go if you've got any sort of issue these days, I think. So, best food.
Ooh, that's a difficult one. We did have a lot of cinnamon rolls.
We did a far too
So,
many cinnamon rolls.
the Colossal one, Holiday Mickey one, but
Mine's actually going to be a drink. I had a black and white peppermint hot chocolate, which was absolutely lovely. So half normal hot chocolate, half white chocolate mocha with a peppermint syrup. Absolutely lovely.
Cool. Where was that?
Starbucks.
Where?
Starbucks.
No, Starbucks where?
Oh, it does it in all of them, but the first
Does
time I
it?
tried it
All
was in Trolley Car Cafe.
Ben, yours? Solid if possible. Other than a drink.
favourite food. I'm going to say it's the ravioli from Italy.
Oh.
Italy and Epcot, I hope.
Yeah, Italy and Epcot. I didn't go... Yeah.
Just to stay relevant with the
Mine,
podcast and all. Favourite moment?
We travelled with some friends and their little boy, and he got chosen to walk Chip and Dale. That wasn't the best bit. I mean, that was super cute, don't get me wrong. The super cute bit was as we were walking back, Donald came out and he walked up to Donald and just took hold of his hand and walked back with him. And this was a kid about a year ago who was absolutely terrified of me characters.
Any characters.
Any characters.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Yeah,
It was just seeing a smile on his face.
that was probably the best bit.
What was the character warehouse like?
Rubbish.
Rubbish?
Yeah, disappointing, but that might have been because we broke the cardinal rule and went shopping on a Saturday.
Yeah, never. They don't even go to the outlets on the Saturday, let alone premium outlets and character warehouse.
Approximate 2.5 hour queues seem to be the thing of the day, and there's nothing in the store that we wanted.
You both know better than this.
We do know
were
better
there,
than
we
this.
were there from before 10 o'clock, and the queue.
We were still waiting for
No,
it
still.
again.
Yeah,
No, it's still
Yeah,
insane.
we do know better. We broke the cardinal rule.
but it was our plan was either to do that on the Saturday or it was the bank holiday Monday.
No.
So
we had
the problem is,
Who planned this holiday? Who planned it?
What a
Rookie
fail.
Yeah, there was a genetic fail there.
But the best thing we did was on the bank holiday Monday, Veterans Day, we went to Universal and it was quiet.
Cool.
Go on literally everything.
Did you do both parks or just studios?
We did all of Universal Studios and then half of Islands of
Adventure.
Right, cool.
Did
Including
they use
Hagrid's.
Hulk?
Including Hagrid. Well, that was the only thing we did at Islands of Adventure. Our friend went on the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think by the sound of it, you went to the right place then, because I gather that Magic Kingdom was absolutely rammed on Veterans Day.
Yeah, we've done Magic Kingdom on Veterans Day before, and we're never doing it again.
And I think Galaxy's Edge was at capacity on Veterans Day as well.
Wow. Ooh, Galaxy's Edge. You haven't
No, we
spoken
haven't
to that
spoken
yet,
about
have you?
Galaxy's
No.
Edge.
I'm going to say I really think the land is the best thing that Disney's ever done. Falcon, slight bit of a letdown.
Ooh.
In against Flight of Passage. Flight of Passage blows it out at the water completely.
Yeah.
I'd say fair enough there, Ben. I'd say
That
that's
sounds like
fair.
a discussion for another day.
Yeah. One thing I was going to mention, which I know John would want us to mention, best fireworks of the holiday, Epcot Forever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Is that going up on the YouTube channel, Ben, as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
it will be.
Awesome.
I've got to say, Ben, I think as a replacement, I think it just looks so amazing. And already you just look at how much it really does lead you into that whole redevelopment of Epcot, and I'd still like to see it there a little bit longer.
I love the soaring bit with the kites flying around, and just the soaring music hits me right in the heart. Anyway, I love that.
Yeah.
So just seeing that lovely sort of lit kites flying over with the lighting and everything behind, I think that'd be fantastic.
And A Whole New World really does fit. Well, I know there's been a lot of discussion online that why would they put A Whole New World in it, but it just fits perfectly, especially when you also go and see the Epcot experience in the Odyssey building afterwards. It's just really good, and it's nice to see the direction Epcot's going.
Especially if you kind of listen to the sentence before it goes into A Whole New World as well. It flows really nicely.
I just love everything they've done with Epcot Forever. I think it is something that really is breathtaking, and I think the more and more people who come out and say that what they're seeing is something that is so awe-inspiring, it's brilliant.
Whose version of A Whole New World is it that they play?
It's
Jim
not
and
the
Peter's.
original.
I'm
not sure.
I'm not sure.
That was my line, Claire. That's what I was getting at. Damn you.
Genius.
Presumably it's not
Great
the
minds.
Katie Price and
Peter Andre.
No, we got lucky with that one.
Yeah, definitely not.
I'm going to have to listen to that again and find out.
I think that would empty the park if they played that version.
I'd agree with her, Joe.
Thank you for letting us share in your magical time away, the shopping, the eating, and general enchanting foray. It sounded amazing, and the phantasmical memories in your mind will last and last. which is pretty essential because of all the problems you face with PhotoPass. Let us now stay present, like waffling Buddhas, as we enter the next section. It's time for Sammie to step up for her carousel of questions.
What's your favourite park?
Animal Kingdom.
Tell me a ride that you hate.
It's a Small World.
What's the most overrated snack?
Turkey leg.
What's your favourite transportation mode in Walt Disney World?
Bus.
What's your favourite table service restaurant?
Sci-fi dining.
A resort you haven't stayed at, but want to more than anything else on Earth.
The Polynesian.
What's your favourite car park?
What kind of question is that?
That's a great question.
Any car park will do.
Is that a song from a musical?
Typhoon, Blizzard, or Volcano Bay?
Volcano Bay.
Galaxy's Edge or Diagon Alley?
Diagon Alley.
Early morning or late night park visit?
Early morning.
Keep the magic or backstage detail?
Backstage detail.
Your favourite other podcast or vlogger about Disney?
Disco Liz, a YouTuber.
And the final one, on-site or off-site?
On site.
Well, yes, that's all very nice, but all these after-hours events, you've got to pay extra for them, haven't you?
My time is almost done, Scrooge.
You're looking old, Spirit.
Don't be cheeky. You're no spring chicken yourself. I must bid you farewell. My hot chocolate's going cold. The final spirit will be with you shortly.
I've not had hot chocolate in a long time. I wonder if you can still get sprinkles on top.
And with that, the third spirit appeared. She was likewise dressed in a spirit jersey, this time with Harmonious emblazoned on it. This was impressive, as these weren't even available yet.
I am the spirit of Disney Christmas yet to come.
I thought you weren't supposed to talk.
Yeah, but this is a podcast, so how's that going to work?
You have a point. I suppose you're going to tell me that there's a great big beautiful tomorrow or some such nonsense.
I mean, you're on the right lines. Just listen to the next section of the podcast and you'll see.
Thank you very much, Sammie, for your insightful answers to the carousel of questions. Now, just for a little moment, maybe grab everybody's attention, as we have some listeners that would love a Mickey mention. Take it away.
Thanks, Lloyd. Our first one this month is a happy birthday to Reetzer from the Dib, who is celebrating his birthday in Manchester. The Mickey birthday hat awaits him.
And next, it is one of our very own's 21st birthday again. It is Jill, whose birthday is on the 16th of December. So can everyone say happy birthday to Jill? Happy birthday, Jill.
Happy birthday, Jill.
And I have a Mickey mention for Sammie, who's coming all the way down to London from Glasgow to do some Harry Potter stuff around London. Sammie, I can also recommend that you take in the Disney store on Oxford Street. It's fantastic. Have a wonderful time while you're down here.
If you've got a Mickey mention that you would like us to read out on the show, why not get in touch via our forum on the Dib or email us direct at themickeywaffle@gmail.com. Great. So, just like Adam of Eternia, for a small fleeting moment, you have the power to change what you see fit in Disney World? Would you bring something back? Would you tweak something? Would you bring in something brand new? So the first waffler to give us an idea of what they would do with their newfound power is Peter. Over to you, Peter.
Thank you. Well, I would change the lagoon show, the light show that goes round all the hotels. I would give that a Christmas overlay. So you could have the octopus with a Santa hat on, and then at the end, instead of doing stars and stripes, it can turn into Santa on his sleigh, and you can have Christmas music.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah,
very festive.
That's a good idea, that.
Yeah. Yeah, seasonal electrical water pageant. Sounds great.
Yeah. I forgot the name. You just reminded me, Claire. Thank you very much.
Always here to help.
Yeah.
Throw a couple of Santa hats on the seahorses.
Yes.
It'd be perfect.
I think Christmas music will suit it better than its current music.
It definitely sounds
To be
better.
fair, anything would be better than the current music.
Yeah, that's the only downside of staying at a Magic Kingdom resort is like you just hear it go by at 10:30 at night.
Polynesian
Every day.
wasn't too bad. Bow
Tower.
Lake Tower, Lakeview. Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah. I think it could get quite old quite quickly.
Yeah.
We only stayed there for 4 nights, and by day 2,
It got annoying.
yeah,
The other one I thought of was to have all the Christmas lights, the Christmas trees, have all the lights turned on at once across the whole resort. And each tree could have some screens around them so everybody could see all the lights being turned on at once.
Oh, that'd be really good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would be pretty.
Cool. But why limit it to Walt Disney World? Why not have it across the whole world? So every Disney park across the world was beaming in their tree lighting to the other parks. Because in Disney Springs, when they had the first Starbucks, so they had like the wall, which was a virtual connection to downtown Disney Starbucks in Disneyland, and you could pass messages between the two. Yeah. So you could almost do that across the world with
You
trees.
might have to record it time difference.
No, it'd be really cool actually, because if you were in Orlando and you were watching the tree being lit at 9 in the morning in Tokyo,
Yeah.
that'd be quite fun.
That'd be quite fun, yeah.
Is Disneyland Paris the only one that has a ceremony for the tree lighting?
I'm not sure.
As far as I know, it is.
Because Disneyland Paris has a little ceremony, and Santa comes out, and you have characters, and you have Christmas song stuff, and it's really nice. So yeah, it's amazing that other parks don't seem to do that.
There is a tree lighting ceremony at Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
Just checked.
I'm guessing it's when they first put the tree up, or is it the
I was going to
first?
say, how have we never seen
Says
this?
again, what I'm looking at here, there's a first tree light in 2019, which is from last year. It's generally about 5:15 to 5:30.
Right, okay. So that's quite new.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think it takes. Does it not overtake the flag drop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does when the trees in.
It's in the same area as the flag, isn't it?
Okay, thanks for that, Peter. Jill, what would you do with your newfound power?
Well, I've got a bit of a strange idea. I don't know if you have come across the bizarre creation that is the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yes, unfortunately.
It is special, let's just say. I think, yeah, if you get a chance to watch it, you should watch it, but preferably after a few festive drinks. So yeah, but anyway, in that, there is a Wookiee festival that is kind of like Christmas. I think it's Life Day. And the whole plot revolves around Chewbacca trying to get his family home, or trying to get home for Life Day. So I think Galaxy's Edge ought to do a Life Day celebration and have like festive Wookiees roaming all over the place.
That's a great idea.
Star Wars in the middle of that.
I would. I might have to look this thing up. I've not actually seen it.
Yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars fans I know that avoid it at all costs and just it doesn't exist.
What, Galaxy's Edge or the Wookiee thing?
So, it's
fine.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
It's not quite that bad. But yeah,
No, I like that.
yeah.
That'd be a good idea for them to sort of integrate Christmas into Batu.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, so John, now over to you for your Imagineering ideas.
Yeah, thanks, Lloyd. I think in my Ghost of Christmas Past, I would definitely have the Osborne lights returning, but part of me says that's not going to happen, is it? So I'm for adding a new feature for soaring. Imagine being able to walk onto one of the 3 screens, not knowing if you're going to be soaring over California or soaring around the world. A bit of a soaring roulette, so to speak. It's not very festive, but I'd love to
What
try.
about another one where you saw in Santa's sleigh?
Do you know, that's genius.
I like that one.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, there's 3 different screens. One's California, one's the world, and one's a festive one.
That'd be really cool.
I was talking. NORAD Santa.
Yeah.
That'd be. Who owns NORAD? Is it still NASA?
Probably.
Bob Iger hasn't bought that yet.
Don't give him ideas.
And you can fly over. Hollywood Studios when Osborne Lights was on.
Yeah, we're doing it now, aren't we? That's it. That's how we could get it done.
You get a bit misty-eyed, John.
Bob's always listening.
His ears are everywhere.
It was a shame that they couldn't have just moved the Osborne Lights to Disney Springs. Now that they've finished that, it looks very in keeping with what the lights used to be.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Becca. It'd have been lovely to have such a. I just think it was the most incredible sort of experience. And I know I said it earlier in the show, but I think, yeah, the Springs is a perfect place for it now.
Does Disney Springs not have any sort of Christmas lighting going on? I haven't been at Christmas, so don't I have some festive?
It's got the Christmas tree trail.
Okay.
Yes.
It is
Which is
also
quite good.
got the most
Whereabouts is
amazing.
that? Is that throughout the whole of the Springs?
No, it's just a section down by the market.
Yeah, Marketplace.
Where the old bus
Where
stop.
the old bus stop used to be.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they've used it for.
Yeah, the Springs has also got the most amazing Father Christmas meet and greet known to mankind.
Oh, really?
I'm saying no more, but I've never been to see Father Christmas. Since the last time we went there.
Oh, you see, now I want to go.
Well, if anyone could get a hold of the real Santa, it's Disney, isn't it?
Well,
the power.
that's it.
So, Claire, now it's your turn. Take a seat in the Imagineer chair.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this quite a lot, actually, and I think if it was up to me, I would probably put an overlay over maybe Frontierland and change it into Christmas Town, as in Nightmare Before Christmas. You could almost start it in Halloween and just continue it through all the way through the Christmas season as well. So you'd have, I know that they do a Nightmare Before Christmas overlay in the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland, but Walt Disney World doesn't really have anything along those lines. So I think that'd be quite cool. You could do it all over the whole of Frontierland.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Frontierland to do it as well.
It's quite dark in Frontierland, so you know, so if you think about the exit, the area around the exit to Big Thunder Mountain, and then the dock to get over to Tom Sawyer Island, that area is actually quite dark. It'd be quite cool to have, you know, Jack and Sally meet and greet and things like that down there.
I think one of the things as well, Claire, and you mentioned it there, is the fact that Disneyland seems to be really proactive in a lot of the overlays that they've done previously, which have ended up being shamelessly stolen by Walt Disney World, haven't they? You know, even thinking of something like the Jingle Cruise, sort of the overlay for Small World, etc. That I think that'd be another really good idea.
Yeah, Tokyo stole the overlay for Nightmare Before Christmas as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I don't think they make enough of it because it's such a. I mean, let's face it, it's a low cost option. You can hit 2 seasons in one.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
I know that in Disneyland Paris you can meet Jack Skellington as Santa Claus in.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got to have it online, Bertie, now.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a fantastic meet and greet, though.
We did it, yeah.
Well, we met him as Jack Skellington as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
He's great.
I think Nightmare Before Christmas is really underutilized. I know that they have the Jack and Sally meet and greet, but I think other than that, they don't really do a lot with it. And I think it's especially at that time of year, because it can take Christmas and Halloween kind of into account. I think they really need to think more about what they can do with it.
Don't have Jack Skellington on a new Halloween fireworks show?
They do, but
yes, they do.
What they could do is they could have it starting off in Halloween Town and then going round to Christmas Town as you go through Frontierland.
Yeah.
So that dark bit by Big Thunder and Tom Sawyer's they could have as the spooky Halloween, and then they could start putting like the Christmas lights and the snow, things like that.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
it'd be
that sounds
so
really
cool.
good, Becca. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You can kind of transform through like October into November into December, you know, like, and get more Christmassy as it goes on.
That'd be really cool.
Wow.
we're in the wrong jobs, folks.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, great idea there, Claire. Ben, if you were an Imagineer for just one day, what would you do?
Oh, it's a difficult one. I think I'm going to use a bit of the technology from the Void. So sort of VR. I think it could be endless. You could choose Halloween, you could choose Christmas, you could theme any sort of ride, attraction, anything that you wanted to. You could probably go through a walkthrough and see the Osborne lights if you wanted to. There could be an endless list of sort of things that you'd associate with Christmas or Halloween, and then you just pick and choose, and you get to just wear the VR kit and just see what you wanted to see.
Have you done the Void?
No, we've really wanted to because they've got the Star Wars one, and I think they've got a Wreck-It Ralph one.
I want to do the Wreck-It Ralph one.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah,
I love Wreck-It Ralph. It's another underrated film.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Although Ralph Breaks the Internet is...
Yeah, I found there was just too much going on. It's a bit like the internet. Too many things.
It's better for watching again, I think. It's
Yeah,
one of those ones.
Lots of Easter eggs in both of those films.
Yeah.
Lots of gaming ones in the first one and lots of general kind of Disney ones in the second one.
Did anyone realise that Stan Lee was in the second one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we saw him.
Just saw it, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, the little Avatar.
Yeah.
Is it an Avatar
Yeah.
of it? Yeah. Yeah, I like that, Ben. The only issue with if you want to go back and see something using the VR system is they need to already have a high def recording, don't they?
Yeah, that's the only thing, but there might be enough content of people filming it on YouTube that they could use, especially for Osborne lights.
Yeah, and then splice something together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, I like it. Dead easy to do that as well. Sold. Becca, what are your ideas?
So I think they should do something similar to what they did in Liberty Square with the Muppets and the great moments in history, but just the American parts. But I think they should move it to the UK Pavilion in Epcot and do the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Wow.
Becca,
what a
I
great
love
idea.
you. That is genius.
It is a great idea.
Love that.
Yeah. So the greatest moments from A Muppet Christmas Carol. So a little 25, 30-minute show with all the sort of salient scenes from Muppet
All the
Christmas Carol.
songs.
Yeah.
Oh,
singing
yeah,
all
you
the
need all the
songs.
songs.
I would be there in my hula outfit.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Wouldn't it just be amazing to see something like that?
That'd be
It
really
would.
cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think we've got a winner.
Well, what's going on with the rights for the Muppets?
Yeah,
Is that your question?
probably best not to ask.
Right. Is there anything else they could use?
Well,
Disney have the rights, but they don't like to use them.
Right. Yeah, great idea, Becca, but it might just be a little bit flawed, unfortunately.
Oh, never mind.
It's a great idea, though. Sammie, what do you reckon?
So I'm going
Car
to
park?
be the most important Imagineer of the festive period. And I would be in charge of renaming every single car park section after the festive period. So we'd have, section eggnog, we'd have section Brussels sprouts, a wee mince pie over there, I don't know what else is Christmassy. Yorkshire pudding, is that Christmassy?
That's just a Sunday thing in Yorkshire.
Yeah,
Alright.
blue and lines there, Sammie.
Maybe.
What is it? Pigs in I was going to say sausages and blankets. What is pigs in blankets?
Blankets, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just go around and rename all of the sections of the car park.
It
That
sounds
was
like you just do
genius
this
as well.
anyway. It's just like some kind of vandalism.
Yeah, I just spray paint
overwriting all
over
the
it.
names.
Sammie, I've just had a horrible thought.
What? Go.
You know the guy on the tram? You know, as you're coming into Magic Kingdom and you're on the heroes or the villain side, and he's trying to explain that you're on the hero side, not the villain side. And essentially, when you're coming back out of the park, there's always somebody on the wrong flipping tram.
Yeah.
What are they going to do when it's all Christmas?
You should be in the eggnog tram, not on the Brussels sprouts tram.
That's the
Yeah,
eggnog.
I think the car parks need a festive overlay.
Christingle orange.
I'm parked in salt.
Mistletoe and lime. Yeah,
Good
maybe
idea.
not food.
So tinsel, bauble.
Yeah, we
Christmas
can
tree.
have that too.
Angel.
Doesn't have to be food related. That's just the first thing that came to my mind, obviously.
Yeah, because you spend so much time in the car parks. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I did. My whole holiday, I just sat in the car park just thinking about how I could have food. There would be a chicken nugget whole car park just full of chicken nuggets.
I'm a bit surprised, Sammy. You could have gone for chicken nuggets with cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
I don't like cranberry sauce.
No, that sounds wrong.
Yeah.
But gravy though, I'm down for some.
Yeah, but British gravy, not that strange white stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that all about? What is that white stuff? I don't understand.
I don't know.
More paper paste.
It's a bit strange.
Yeah, don't touch that and don't touch the grits.
Well, the grits can go on the Brussels sprout side.
No idea.
Yeah.
The villain side.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible
The
food.
stuff you don't like.
White gravy.
All the vegetables.
Yeah.
White gravy, grit, sprouts, over to
Yeah.
the left.
It's over to the right as you drive in, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? Sorry, just be pedantic.
I can't believe you know how the car parks are laid out. That's slightly concerning.
Dedication.
Claire, I take great pride in it.
Yeah. John
And
has
it's that
dedication.
whole thing about getting to the nearest point possible to walk
Nah.
rather than getting to the tram.
I'm with you. Anyway, Lloyd, what would your idea be? Well, you've heard
Mine is-
ours.
Mine's just a really simple one. Basically, on mission space, as you leave the Earth's atmosphere, you pass Santa
Yes.
doing an orbit of the Earth. Just a
Ooh,
little.
just edit him in.
A little glimpse as you fly out of orbit from Earth.
Oh,
That would be really
1st
cool.
To,
wouldn't that be
December 25th.
lovely?
Simple.
Yeah, that's simple. Really cheap for them to do. Retrofit it and then take out the programming after
Brilliant.
Christmas.
You have to have an echoing ho 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 as you went past them. Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah,
That'd be
it's
good.
nice and simple. That's
Like
what I want
that.
to use my power for.
Oh,
And world peace and harmony. That'll do me.
that's well.
Nothing too flashy then.
So
Yeah.
Miss World.
Can't wait for the swimsuit round.
What amazing ideas. Bob Iger will be taking notes. There are some there that would definitely cause a lump in my throat. Right, let's ride this jolly holly train and move back to the fire pit. Let's top up the eggnog and get Michael Bublé on repeat. So farewell, stay safe and have a magical Christmas time. Remember to find us on Anchor, iTunes, YouTube and subscribe. Send us your Mickey mentions if you have an occasion you wish us to cite. And remember, Happy Christmas to all. Waffle on and good night.
Farewell, Scrooge. I have to go and check out that 5th park.
Thank you, spirits. I see now I was wrong about Disney parks. I will never forget that it all started with a mouse. I will read trip reports about the past, watch vlogs about the present, and book Disney holidays for the future. Now, how do I subscribe to the Great British Mickey Waffle?
You can find all our past, present, and future shows on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, Anchor, and also now YouTube, where we'll also add little videos here and there as well. And if you never want to miss a show, why not subscribe or set up notifications?
Scrooge was as good as his word and better, and it was said on Main Street that nobody could walk down the middle of it as festively as him. And so, from all of us to all of you, Merry Christmas, and as the wafflers say, waffle on!
From all of us here at the Mickey Waffle, we want to thank you for joining us this year and listening to our podcast. We're looking forward to making more episodes next year, and we hope you're able to join us. And we all wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, everyone.